Alright, hey. Well, I wanted to talk about was my experience with using, cause if you don't know, two, about 2 months ago, I bought a CRT monitor. It is the Gateway VX755. It's about a 1600 by 1200 at 60 hertz, but I run it at a 1024 by 768 at 85 hertz. And I wanted to talk about my experience with using it and if I would recommend it. I should state beforehand. I've done I've tried to do a lot of research. It's, I've done a month of research into how to convert since GPUs don't ship with analog signals anymore. I've had to try to I've converted it to a digital signal. And the adapter I would recommend is the StarTech adapter. You can, or if you have a lot of money, you can go with the RetroTink 4K. But the StarTech adapter, it's cheap. It doesn't add any additional delay, not that I can see, and it's pretty. It supports the higher resolutions, something that most of the cheaper adapters cannot do. So if you were looking for an adapter, I'd suggest the StarTech one. So about my experiences with it overall, I've only been playing games. I've only been playing games and watching media on the CRT for ever since I got it, just to have a thorough use for it, so I can make a video like this going over my experience. And so the first thing I would like to point out is it looks a lot smoother than some high-end gaming monitors I've tried out. The picture, the motion clarity of it is very good. It is a very smooth experience. And since it's a lower resolution, the games would run well on it too. So if you like your games looking smooth, I would recommend getting one just for that. But I'd recommend doing your research first. If you see a local listing, try to find everything you can about information on it. A good resource would be trying to find a user manual, the one that came with the monitor in the box. If that's a PDF online, you could do that. So the second thing is, I'm going over the positives first. So the second positive is that the picture itself, it looks very good. The colors are very good on the monitor. The black levels are excellent, which I will go over. I will go over the black levels because there's a semi caveat, but it's not that much. Just something I've noticed. Alright, and the third is like modern ish games, like they still support the 4:3 resolution. I have Xbox Game Pass. I was checking out this game called Lies of P. It's like a Souls knockoff, and it came out last year, and it still supports 4:3, and the picture looks really good on it. And I watch a lot of media too. I've actually started pirating like a bunch of like 4.3 content, since like the streaming services would like stretch it. So I've started like a collection of like pirated media that I watch on it, and that's also pretty good. So a few I've gone over the positives. Oh, and also like the buttons on it, they're really good. Like it's kind of minor, but the buttons they feel really satisfying to use. Like the power button has a nice satisfying click, and the noises it makes is also satisfying. And so a few like I have a few negative like they're not really negatives, but like there's something to think about. So first is how I said the black levels are very good. Well, that is unless like if you have like I have a window back here and like I don't have curtains, so the sun would shine, and if the sun shines and like hits the monitor, it'll like wash out like the pictures and the colors. Like there's like a yeah, it's not anti-glare. I don't think I haven't done much research, but I don't think there is like anti-glare CRTs. So like the sun would shine on it and you would see your reflection. Think of like trying to use like a phone like outside, like an older like touchscreen phone outside. It looks like that. Like the sun would shine on it and like the black levels would just turn gray. So a second like semi-negative is not all games do support like 4.3, which is not a really a big issue for me. But like there's some genres I would expect to like not support, like fighting games. If you're playing like fighting games, that you should expect that's not gonna support 4.3. Also, competitive. Well, most competitive shooters do support it, but not like Overwatch. That's like the only game I know that's like a shooter that doesn't support it. Also, if you're playing like I like playing a lot of arcade dumps like Project Diva arcade and the Tycho arcade dump. Those definitely don't support 4.3 because they were made for like 16:9 screens on the cabinet itself. So of course those won't support it. But other than that, it's very good. Like it's actually like night and day. Like the monitor I have like on the side, I have it on like an arm, and that monitor is definitely not as good as this CRT. Also, the other monitor I have, it's a very good monitor. It was made in like 2011, I think, by Sony, like a Sony like 3D screen monitor. That has very good colors and all, but the CRT like is way better looking than that. Another also like positive is like there's no like scaling like you know how like if you like have a 4.3 game and like you would launch it on like the LCD and like it would like shrink down like every window when you exit it. On the CRT it doesn't do that since it's an analog signal, and that means it displays the content like the lower resolution content natively in full screen instead of like scaling it down like on a digital display. So that's about it. I know a few good resources to look for them would be like OfferUp and Marketplace, and as a last resort, you could use eBay if you don't have any like monitors in your area. You could use eBay. to like get it, because I couldn't find any in my area, so I had to use eBay, and it came pretty well. The only thing wrong with it is like there's like a chip like on the bottom left of it, and also like there's a sticker with the date it was made on that I kind of don't want to take off. So yeah, that's about pretty much it. That's it for the experiences I've had with it. If you would like, I could go over more in a separate video, like a more in-depth, but this is like a 2-month review of it. Yep.